Guys, what's the most obvious hint you've ever missed from a girl? I was 16 and completely clueless about everything, especially girls. There was this girl in my math class named Emma. She sat 2 rows behind me. I never really talked to her much, just the usual hey when we passed in the hallway. One day she asked to borrow a pencil. I gave her one. She never gave it back. The next week she asked for another one, then another one. By the end of the month I'd given her like 6 pencils. I remember thinking, wow, she really needs to keep track of her stuff better. My friend Tyler pulled me aside after class one day. Dude, Emma's into you. I laughed. No way, she just forgets pencils a lot. Tyler shook his head like I was the dumbest person alive. Then Emma started showing up at my locker between classes. She'd just lean against the wall and ask about my day, what classes I had next, if I was going to the football game Friday. I thought she was just being friendly, making conversation. One time she asked if I was going to homecoming. I said probably not, dances aren't really my thing. She got quiet for a second, then said, well, if you change your mind, let me know. I said sure thing and walked to chemistry. Tyler heard about it later and literally smacked me on the back of the head in the cafeteria. She was asking you to go with her, you idiot. I didn't believe him. If she wanted to go with me, she would have just said that, right? Wrong. The hints kept coming. Emma started sitting with me at lunch. She'd share her fries even though I never asked. She laughed at jokes I made that weren't even funny. One day it rained really hard after school. I was waiting for my mom to pick me up. Emma came over and stood under my umbrella even though she had her own. We stood there for like 20 minutes, really close. She kept looking at me, smiling. I asked if her mom was coming soon. She said, yeah, any minute. When her mom pulled up, Emma said, see you tomorrow, and ran to the car. I waved and thought that was nice of her to keep me company. Tyler was ready to murder me when I told him. She was waiting for you to do something, man. Anything. Do what? I asked. She was just standing there. He put his head in his hands. The most obvious one happened during the spring dance. I ended up going because Tyler dragged me, said I needed to get out more. Emma was there with her friends. She waved at me from across the gym. I waved back. Then a slow song came on. Emma walked straight up to me, asked if I wanted to dance. I said, I don't really know how to slow dance, might step on your feet. She laughed. That's okay, I don't mind. So we danced. Her hands were on my shoulders. We swayed back and forth. She kept looking up at me, really close. The song felt like it lasted forever. When it ended, she didn't let go right away, just stood there, staring at me, waiting. I said thanks for the dance and walked away to get punch. Tyler found me 5 minutes later. What is wrong with you? She was literally waiting for you to kiss her. No, she wasn't, I said. We just danced. That's what people do at dances. He looked like he wanted to throw me off a building. The next Monday at school, Emma stopped coming by my locker. She stopped sitting with me at lunch. She stopped asking to borrow pencils. I figured she made new friends or something. Didn't think much of it. Then I heard she was dating Brad from the soccer team. They started going out like 2 weeks later. I remember thinking good for her. Brad seemed nice. It wasn't until graduation 3 years later that I finally understood. We were all signing yearbooks in the parking lot. Emma came up to me, asked if she could sign mine. She wrote a long paragraph, talked about math class, about all those pencils, about homecoming and the dance and standing in the rain. At the end she wrote, I tried really hard to make it obvious, but I guess some people need a billboard. Good luck in college. You'll figure it out eventually. I stood there reading it over and over, feeling like the biggest idiot on the planet. All those pencils, all those lunches, standing in the rain, the dance. She'd been trying to tell me for months, and I missed every single sign. I found Tyler in the parking lot, showed him what she wrote. He read it and started laughing. Told you, 3 years ago. Told you so many times. I tried to find Emma before she left, wanted to apologize, tell her I finally got it, but she was already gone. Her car was pulling out of the parking lot. Brad was driving. She was in the passenger seat, smiling at something he said. Tyler patted me on the shoulder. You'll get the next one, man. I doubt it, I said. He laughed. Yeah, probably not. I kept that yearbook. Still have it, actually. Sometimes I flip to her page and read what she wrote. Not because I'm stuck on her or anything. She's married now, has 2 kids, seems really happy. I look at it to remind myself that sometimes the most obvious things in the world are the hardest ones to see, especially when you're 16 and completely clueless about everything, especially girls.